post-processing framework, otherwise known as PPF.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So first of all, let's try to understand why PPF is required. Okay. So now, when I say about PPF, it is nothing but just an automation tool. That is my point. It is
Yeah.
what? It is an automation tool which is going to automate some process, some stuff, or some steps in the process, or so on. Right? So maybe if you're talking about an inbound process, so in that process, it can automate one step or maybe a couple of steps. Right? However, we know there is one more automation tool. That is what? PG job, background job. Right? Again, that is also in SAP EWM. That is my point. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what
correct.
is the basic difference between the automation tool, that is a PPF and the back? Right? Both are again, both are my automation tool. Right? So whenever we are talking about a background job, so what do you do? We take an SM or we take a program or we take a custom transaction and we want my SAP system to run that particular program with a particular interval of time. Okay, interval
Yeah.
of time. And what time interval that can be? It can be 30 minutes, 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, one day. Depends on business. Depends on the scenario. Clear? So what
Yeah.
happens? How this background job is getting triggered? It's a time based. Clear? As soon
Yeah.
as my time is met, what will happen? As soon as my time is ticking, as soon as the time is met, immediately my background job, whatever the program we have scheduled it is going to run it in the back. Right? But if
Yeah.
you talk about a PPF, my PPF is again an automation tool, just like my background jobs, right? But it does not triggers on a time based. So what it triggers on? Okay. Suppose, for an example, there are three steps in a process. Okay. I'm not talking about any particular process. I'm talking about the hypothesis process where I have three steps. Okay. So now, if I want to automate, I will be automating step number two using what my PPF Action. Okay, Prasad. Now,
Yeah. Yeah.
when I automate step number two, so again, we just now saw that background job is triggering on the time. How does my PPF triggers? My PPF triggers on the completion or the creation or the deletion of the object. What is the object? That is the step before where I want to implement my PPF. Get my point? If I want to
Yeah.
implement the PPF in step number two, so my objects become what? Step one. If I want to implement PPF in step number three, so my object becomes what? Step number two. Get my point? Just the immediate step before where I want to implement my PPF is called what? Object. So here, can I say my step number one is my object? Get my point?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so what I'm talking about? I'm talking about triggering. Okay. Triggering of what? My automation tool, that is PPF. Okay. So I can say my step number two is having PPF, which is an automated step. So this will only trigger, the PPF will only trigger and it will run automatically only and only if my step one is done. Okay. My object is met. So what is met? So there will be a condition related to my object. But it will be, there will be a condition. Get my point?
Yeah.
Okay. Once the condition is met, okay, whenever the condition is met, okay, how many times the condition is met? Suppose you say, sir, the condition is met twice. So what will happen? PPF will trigger twice. Am I clear? Like here, what you are
Yeah.
doing, it was based on the interval. So whenever it become a 30 minutes, it will trigger. So similarly, whenever the condition is met, what will happen? My PPF will trigger. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you talk about the condition, you'll ask me, sir, what kind of condition we can have, right? So basically, I told you on a very higher level, I'm talking about again. Okay. So my conditions can be this object, what I'm talking about, can be created, can be changed, and can be deleted. We agree on that. Any
Yeah.
object,
Yeah.
right? There are three steps, right? Of course. Once it will get created, it will get deleted, and then we can change it as well, right? So either this object can be created, right? Create,
Mhm.
then I can say, put it over here, change, or I can say delete. Right? In
Yeah.
all these three scenarios, if any of the three scenarios, or maybe all these three scenarios are or can be maintained by couples. So whenever I'll say, okay, the object is changed, my PPF will trigger. Or I can say the object is created, my PPF will trigger. Get my point? So in
Yeah.
any of the scenarios, whenever this condition, so what is the condition? Object creation or object change or object deletion is the condition. Whenever the condition is met, what will happen? My PPF is going to trigger. Is this clear, Prasad? Any doubts?
Yeah, only one thing regarding this PPF. Now we are talking about the step number two where we are planning to trigger it. So, is there any obstacle or any hurdles where maybe in one step it is working correctly in case of creation, okay, but in case of change, maybe some criteria was not matching and it's getting failed or something like that?
Yeah, very good question. So whenever I'm saying that, in my step number two, I'm going to set a condition. Whenever that condition is met, what will happen? My PPF will trigger. So
Hmm.
this object change is one condition. I cannot have multiple conditions for my PPF. Getting my
Hmm.
point? Okay. I will create one condition. Let me write it as condition type. Okay. So I will have
Hmm.
what one condition type. That is fixed now. I cannot change it. Okay. So what I will
Ah,
do? I will have one condition type for this PPF to trigger. Either the object is created, deleted, changed, or whatever it is. Getting my point? I cannot
yeah,
have object creation is one condition, object change is another condition. No, I cannot do that for the same PPF. I can do that for other PPFs as well. One PPF for object creation, one PPF for object change. Like that I can do. But one PPF will always have one condition. Okay.
yeah. So,
Okay.
so in that case, maybe then change condition will work only for the change, and change may include anything like block, deletion, or anything, which will work 1:1 for that step.
See, change means not deletion. Deletion is a different, right? Change means
Mhm.
I'm changing some parameters, right? I'm changing some item labels over there, right in the document. So those are called change.
Okay, okay.
Right? You have one line item, you're changing second line item, or you're changing the quantity using the process code adjustment of the delivery itself, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
whatever material you have ordered, you're changing the quantity. So those things are called change, right? But if you delete the whole delivery, so that isn't deletion. That is a different one, right? You cannot put that under the change. Fine.
okay.
Now,
Mhm.
now we understood. In very simple language, if I say object, whenever the object is going to go through any of these, my PPF will trigger. Simple. Now the question is, how do the object go through any of this? Whether it is manual or system generated.
Mhm.
In fact, how do system generated? Suppose for an example, I'm taking an example. Suppose
Mhm.
object is my inbound delivery document, right? So what
Yeah.
I'll do, as soon as the object is created, how the object is created, tell me. If I'm having what like if my vendor is on SAP Ariba,
Mhm.
right? SAP Ariba is an SAP system where my vendor works on it. So if my vendor is on SAP Ariba, so as soon as they send us an ASN, advance shipping notification against our purchase order, what will happen? My inbound delivery will be auto created in the VL31 and in that like in my S4HANA,
Mhm.
right? And that
Yeah,
inbound delivery will be auto distributed to my AW, auto creation as well as auto distribution.
yeah.
So that is system generated, right?
Mhm.
However, if I'm talking about my manual, so if my vendor is not on an SAP system, they're on a non-SAP system, not on Ariba, so they will send us an ASN through an EDI, like maybe an email or something. I will get that email, then I'll go manually to my S4HANA, I'll log into my S4HANA system, and I'll manually create my inbound delivery using VL31N against the ASN that we have already received from the vendor, right? So in
Yeah.
that case, what happened? It is manually created. Am I clear? Okay, sir.
Correct, correct, correct. So it's a VL31 and manual step then in that case.
Yes, yes. Another scenario, suppose for an example, I'm taking my object as the GR, goods receipt. Okay,
Mhm.
so it can be manually posted from the inbound delivery or it can be system generated as well.
Yeah,
Remember.
yeah.
Okay, so these are the different scenarios. So basically, why we are talking about this? So basically, we are trying to build an understanding on what a PPF action is and where and how it can be implemented on a very high level. We have not deep dive into that. When we look into the configurations, we'll deep dive and we'll see how it is working. Getting my point. So
yeah.
now, can I say, Prasad, just tell me
Mm,
whether you agree with me or not. Can I say,
mm,
so condition type is very important. If I do not maintain the condition type, so my PPF, India have made all the configurations, everything perfect in my system. Will it work if I'm not maintain the condition type for this PPF action?
mhm.
It will
Yeah,
not work. It
it
will not
will.
work.
Um, I think it will take a default value maybe in that case if nothing is there in condition type
Okay,
or
it
that.
will take a default value. So if I have not created any entry in the condition table, so how do PPF takes a default value? For an example, chalo, I created a condition type for my inbound delivery document. Okay.
Mhm,
So when I create a condition type, I want to create like I have two warehouses. Suppose I'm just assuming, okay. I want to
mm,
have the PPF action for particularly one warehouse.
mhm.
So I've created for one warehouse, right? If now I run my inbound process for the second warehouse, do you say if for the second warehouse there is no condition record? Like maybe I'll say WH1 and I have WH2. There are two warehouses, right? WH1 and WH2. So I have maintained the condition type for my warehouse number one, right? I have not maintained for my warehouse number two. There is no condition type maintained. So do you say my warehouse two will automatically trigger the PPF based on some default value?
No, in that case it
No,
will not
it will not.
default.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So that means we can clearly conclude that if you do not maintain the condition type, obviously my PPF action is not going to trigger. As simple as that. Okay, even though we have completed everything, all the configurations are there. So this is one of the critical and most important activity. So we need to maintain the condition type to have our PPF actions trigger. Clear?
yeah,
Understood?
yeah.
Now let's go to the business aspect of it. It's a very, very important, very less people talk about the business aspect of it. Let's talk about it. Okay. So now
Mhm,
why PPF? Why PPF? Your customer will ask you, okay, we will implement the PPF, but why? Why you want us to do the PPF?
mhm.
Right? So whenever we talk about any process, let's take an example of inbound process, right? You must be very much familiar with the inbound process. So
Mm,
how it starts till USN of PPF.
mm.
And again, I believe you understand PPF is an EWM activity, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
cannot automate any step whatsoever in your S4HANA side, right? So these
yeah.
are my S4HANA systems, right? This is S4HANA. This is also S4HANA is what my creation of IBT. IBT is software of inbound delivery, okay?
Mm,
Now, once it is done, what will happen? Tell me. Inbound delivery distribution, right? I'll write inbound
yeah,
delivery distribution. Once it is distributed, now my inbound delivery is available in EWM, right? So the
yeah,
next step I'm going to perform is unloading, right?
yeah.
Then PGR,
Yeah.
then what I do, create,
Warehouse order.
put warehouse task, warehouse order, whatever you can call it, okay?
Mm,
And then the last one, what do you do? You need to confirm that as well, right?
yeah, yeah.
So now you need to explain your customer or whoever is your customer saying that, sir, okay, if you talk about the inbound process, forget about the S4HANA, I cannot do anything on the S4HANA side, right? When I'm
Mm,
talking about the EWM side, there are certain processes or certain steps which do not require a respective physical activity in my warehouse. Let's
yeah.
try to understand this technique. So whenever I'm saying my inbound delivery is auto distributed, fine, perfect. So when I'm having the product unloading, I'm unloading the product in my warehouse. Do I do something physically in the warehouse?
Yeah,
Yes, I unload it, right? I physically
yeah,
unload it. And then I can come back and click on the unloading button in my inbound delivery, right? So
yeah.
this is a physical activity, right? I'll type physical. Okay. Now, what about PGR? Tell me.
This is also physical activity.
This is a physical activity, very good.
Yeah,
We need to verify that we have already received so and so product for that many quantities or not. Okay, very good.
yeah,
What about create a put a warehouse task or warehouse order?
yeah. This is maybe kind of a
This
virtual
is
activity.
this is a logical activity. Okay, so what it
Yeah,
is? It is a logical activity. So I do not do anything in the warehouse. But what about confirmation? Yes,
this is physical.
confirmation is a physical activity because somebody or resource, a person or human being, or maybe a crane or forklift driven by a human being needs to move the product from a source bin that is the GR zone to the destination. Right? So again,
Yeah,
this is the physical activity. See, now just try to understand Prasad, okay? So the whole point of automating is I don't need any human intervention. Yes or no? We agree on that.
yeah, yeah,
Automation means I don't need my human don't need to interfere. We are saving their time, we are cutting up their time so that we can utilize them in more productive methods, right? In productive ways. So what do we do? So here if you say there is a physical activity, so I cannot cut off it from human interaction. Right? Here also a physical activity. I cannot cut off the human beings from getting interacted with the delivery itself. The only step where I can do that is this particular activity. Getting my
yeah,
point? Okay. So now, how do we convince our business sites to implement PPF? We can say that the PPF action is going to remove or maybe automate this particular step from human interaction. Human are not going to go back into the system, click on inbound delivery, follow on functions, warehouse task, create plus save, create a warehouse task, and then again it will take some time as well, right? Because they need to travel from the warehouse space to wherever the system is, wherever the GUI or the theory, whatever the screen is, right? They need to go over there, they need to log in, they need to find out the delivery, create the warehouse task. So it is, of course, time consuming. Agree?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And tell me, is there any scenario in SAP EWM, whatever we all know, is there any scenario in SAP EWM where after PGR we don't create a warehouse task?
Yeah, if any inspection is there,
Mhm.
then in case sometimes they are doing the inspection before doing the WTW.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes. If they're doing a physical inspection, right? So what will
Yeah,
happen? At that point of time, we cannot automate it, right? We cannot create it. So when we need to automate it, so what will happen? We'll have one more step over here. What? Okay.
inspection. Yeah,
So what? Yeah, the inspection document is completed, right? Or
yeah,
if you talk about the standard scenario, what happened? Every time my PGR is completed, my Putavera task needs to be created. I'm talking about EWM perspective. I'm not talking about my QM side. Okay, this is again a QM activity. My QM team needs to do the quality inspection post.
yeah.
Clear? Understood? Any doubts on this one?
Yeah, only one thing. Do we need to check any packing before this
Yeah.
issue create?
See, I'm talking about a generic scenario. You can have
Mhm.
packing, you can have actual level printing, all these things also you can have. I'm just talking on a very high level. So that is why I didn't talk about quality inspection or so on. Right? Just on a again, if you
Mhm.
put right now what we're talking about, tell me, business perspective of it, right? So if you talk so many things to the business, so they will get very much confused, right? Again, for them understanding what is the Putta warehouse, task warehouse, is really very tough. Right?
Mhm.
Just try to understand it. Okay. So
Yeah,
we are talking to the business, helping them understand why PPF is required. Get my point?
yeah,
So at that time, how much you can keep the process simple, it will be good for us. We know what will happen. You might have a
mhm.
NOC, you might have achievable printing, you might have multiple other things as well, right? So we can do that,
Mhm.
right? But this is just for making our business understand what is a physical activity, what is the logical activity, and how can I implement PPF action in my logical activity, logical steps.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is why I am not mentioning the inspection or packing or whatsoever it is. Now,
Mhm.
Prasad, so when I say this is a logical activity, so what can happen? My PPF can get trigger over this one. I can automate this step. So if
Yeah.
this particular is my PPF action state, so what is my object now?
Mhm.
What is the object?
But
Can you tell me?
to automate this.
Good receipt. Yeah, is the
Yeah,
object I told you now. The object will be
yeah,
the very like immediate before step, which is
yeah.
like which step we are triggering, that just before step is what now. So now the object is what? Now tell me here, we are going to delete it, create it or change it. What we are going to do?
We are creating this.
GR
Yes.
or posting it?
Posting, posting.
So posting means what? Changing. Posting
Yeah,
change. Do you remember posting change? What do you do? We change it. Posting means
yeah,
always change. Okay. So that
yeah,
means what? We are changing the goods status. From what we are changing? From not started to completed. Right? From not
yeah,
started NS to what? So, NS is not started to what? Finished. FI. NS to FI. Not started to finished. Getting my point? As soon as
yeah,
we change it, then only my PPF will trigger. So this is what? Change of the object. Object change. Clear? Understood
yeah.
any doubts, any questions? Okay, fine. Now let's come back to the PPF actions over here. So we say It is the mechanism used to trigger and manage my background processes after a certain warehouse activity or event. What is the certain warehouse activity or event occur? That is nothing but my object that can be changed, created, or deleted. That is my point.
Yeah.
Please make a note of it. This is the only difference between my PPF actions and my background job. My background job triggers, okay, from a time. Like it's basically based on the time. Like whenever the time is met, it will trigger. As simple as that. Right?
Mm.
But my PPF action is going to trigger based on what? Based on whether like the warehouse activity or event which is called our object is fulfilled. If object condition is fulfilled, what will happen? This will simply go on. Okay. So what
Yeah.
it does, it automates tasks like such as sending notification, printing labels, and so on. Like there are many steps. There are many things you can do using the PPF. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does it works? We'll have an action profile. Okay.
Mm.
That action profile will contain some actions. It can contain one action. See, knowingly I put that in the brackets, right? You can have one action or you can have actions. Plural form.
Yeah.
Right? So when these actions will trigger, you will say, sir, I want 2 to 3 actions. I want one the GR is posted. I want the HU label to be printed. I want the put stuff to be created, and so on. Right? You want multiple actions to be done. So that point of time also you can schedule those actions. But how those actions will be scheduled based on the condition, right? Once this condition is met, then only these actions will trigger. These actions are nothing but PPF actions,
Yeah.
right? And how the actions can be, how the conditions can be met, it can be made either automatically or manually. I just now told you either system generated or manually,
Yeah.
right? Once these are triggered, what happens? This can trigger a PPA, like a smart form to print an HU label, or it can trigger a program to create a put away just and so on. Right? It can create anything. Like it can create a method call or you can see smart form, workflow. It can trigger it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the whole overview, and again, I'm talking about on a very high level how my PPF actions work. Okay. Let's now try to understand the here I've already written what is the condition, what is the action. We've already discussed this. So whenever you get some time, just go through this. Okay. This
Yeah.
is theoretical. These are all theoretical aspects of it. Okay. What are the uses of PPF actions? How to print a labels and notifications, shipping confirmations, automating external interfaces, right? Automating internal steps as well. So all these are what different uses and applications of PPF actions. Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about how do I do it. Okay, I understood like why it is done, where it is done, how it works. But let me understand what are the configurations that needs to be done for this PPF action tool.
Mm.
So right now, when I've taken this example, I'll be working on this example to see I will automate this particular step where what I do, I create a put away warehouse task automatically.
Mm.
Okay. So for that, what I need to do? I need to create a PPF action. Now, before I start working on the PPF, okay, to automate this particular step, so do you agree that my inbound delivery configuration should be working perfectly fine? Like inbound process should be working fine,
Correct.
right? We all agree to that. Fine.
Yeah.
Now you see, the very first configurations that we talk about is what my document type and item type for my inbound delivery configuration.
Yeah.
Let me quickly go to my SPRO. I'll go to SCWM EWM, right? Inside this, I'll go to goods, this is process, and here you can see inbound delivery. And what I can see what is the document type and item type that I have defined for my general inbound delivery formula,
Yeah.
right? Okay, I need to see what is the inbound delivery document. Okay, that what is the document type, what is the document category, right? That I'm
Yeah.
receiving for my. So this is a part of my configuration check. Once I've checked it, now what I'll do, I'll move on to start working with my PPF actions. Okay. Before I start working on my PPF actions, there is something called field catalog. I'll tell you what is the field, what is the catalog. Okay. So first of all, let's forget about field catalog. Let's discuss something else. Have you ever visited a paint shop, Prasad? Right?
Yeah.
So whenever you go to paint shop, you'll say, okay, I want to paint my house or something. They will give you a booklet, right? Where you'll have Pink, there are many shades to it. White, there are many shades to it. Blue, there are many shades to it. Right? So that is nothing but called what? A paint catalog or a color catalog. Right? Similarly, in SAP EWM, right, we have different fields. Getting my point?
Yeah.
All these fields are saved under one file. These are called what? Field catalogs. What these are called? Field catalogs. Let's try
Mhm.
to deep dive into that. See, gross process settings, delivery warehouse request, action. See, before I go into that, so do you understand what is action or actions? Basically, what PPF is going to do is called action,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
PPF is going to perform certain activity. That is called nothing but my action. Okay, don't get
Mhm.
confused. Okay. So first, what I'm talking about, my field catalog. If I go inside this, you can see these are what my different field names that are available in my warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay. These are all the field names. What are the field names? This is the doc type. You can see your description document type. Right here, you can see object change. I was just talking about the object change over here. See, object change. Okay. So object change you have. Then what you have? Warehouse number you have. Warehouse door you have. And means of transport you have. Goods movement status we have it. Right. And if you go
Yeah.
down also, there are so many. Similarly, there are so many. Here you can see goods movement bin, storage bin, goods movement posting. Right. So all
Yeah.
this WPT, this is WPT, warehouse process type. All these field catalogs are there. They were already existing in my laptop.
Yeah. So kind of these are the conditions so that we can use these conditions and trigger the PPF for that. Is my understanding correct?
These are not the conditions. These are the fields that we will be
Okay.
requiring to create the.
Correct. Kind of access sequence maybe.
No, not access sequence. Okay. So if you know anything about people, forget everything. What I'm trying to tell you, just try to follow that. You'll be able to understand it. Okay.
Mhm.
So now these are what different fields. Field have.
Mhm.
Okay. Like suppose now I'll give you a very layman example. Okay. So if I want to build an Excel sheet, what are you telling me? The very first thing I need is this cells. Yes, or no? These cells I need them. If I
Yeah.
don't have these cells, I cannot build an Excel. I need these
Mhm.
cells. Then I need to put these cells in a tabular form, in a proper
Yeah.
sequence. Then I need to save that in a sheet. That sheet can be saved in Word. Okay. So similarly, right now what we are talking about, the building blocks of a PPF action, that is called what? Fields. So you can see it is called fields. Clear?
Correct. So maybe I have 10 document types, okay, for example, but I want to apply only two document types. So I can just use this field and add those two document types so that
Yes.
it will work on default.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Here you can see warehouse number. As I told you, I have warehouse number over here. I can put for warehouse number. Other warehouse number I will not put. So my condition type will work for one warehouse. That is my
Yeah.
point. Here you can see
Yeah.
warehouse. Okay. So that is what the field. Here. Now what happened? There is something called what condition table. You can see the same field. Whatever
Mhm.
field we saw over there, the same field. Now what I do, I will now what it is showing condition table. What it says display. It is showing display, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I will click on this change button. Right? Now what I do, whatever condition, whatever field I require for my condition table, what I'll do, I'll pull them to this side, right? For an example,
Mhm.
I'll say I need action. Of course, I need an action, right? What I want to trigger it. I'll click on this arrow, it will move to this side, right? Then
Yeah.
of course, I need a document type. I'll move it to this side, right? Then I'll say let's take for this example, okay? I need the goods movement status as well, right? Let me go for goods movement B. If I go down here, goods movement status, GM status. Okay, I need this as well. Then if my goods movement status is an object, I need to change the object as well, right? So object change, here it is, object change. Okay, I need this as well. Where is my warehouse number? I need the warehouse number as well. So warehouse number, here it is, right? So these all things are required. I need what is the warehouse, right? What is my object, that is my goods movement status, that will be changed from not started to completed. The object will be changed, not created, not deleted. It will be changed. Then my document type will be INV and PDI is the document category for it. Type what is the action? I want to trigger to create a PPF action. I want to create a warehouse status. That will be my action. I want to create a put a warehouse status. That will be my action. Getting my point?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So now what you can do, you can save all of these. You can create a condition table and you can save that on the record. Whatever you
Mhm.
want to do, you can create a condition table with a name. Okay. So here I have already created it. If I go to SAP DLB01, So you can see under this condition table, what I have all this.
Okay.
Very my point. So now what I have, just let me come down over here. I have my different fields. So let me put it over here. Yes, fields. So this is what this is called field backlog. So what are the fields I have? Field one and so on. And there are many fields. Getting upon the first config that we saw. And the second config, what I'm doing, first I'm creating a condition table. Yes or no, bro? I'm
Yeah.
calling what SAP. I'm writing SAP DLV01, right? And inside this, I'm having maybe this file, so any of these fields, right? Get my point. Now you will
Yeah.
say, sir, I need one more condition table, but the one condition table will not work for me. I need another condition table that is SAP DLV02.
Mhm.
Across all, I hope you understand that
Yeah.
nomenclature can be anything. Huh? You can
Yeah.
create any table name, it depends on you. You can write your name as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
you have now two tables, right? You will say, sir, I require one more table. I require one more table. You can have a number of tables, right?
Mhm.
Now, since you are having multiple tables, what we need to do? I suppose this is 20, this is 13, so it can have other fields as well. It's not
Mhm.
necessary that it will have the same field, right? अलग-अलग field भी हो सकता है.
Uh-huh.
Now, I have two different tables, correct? Now, these tables can conflict with each other. This will say, okay, I am the first table. This table will say, I am the first table. So what we need to do? We need to assign them what? A sequence. Who is the first table? Who is the second table? Getting my point?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what? Condition. Okay. So my condition table is the first one, and my second is what? Access. Okay. Access sequence is what? Which table will come first? Let's take an example of this is my first table. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Then this is having sequence one. This is having sequence. Sequence. We can condition. Okay, so I'll put SAP DLV02 as the second. Clear? So it is not necessary. It will be like this. You can put the reverse around. You can put two as the first table and one as the second table. That is the point.
Correct. Correct. Yes. Yes.
Now once I've given this sequence, what I'll do? I'll try to save this sequence in a file. My file will be called what? OD01. And my file name is called OD01 where I have saved this sequence. Clear? Understood? Any doubts? Any questions? Tell me.
No, still here we are good on this.
We are good, right? No, now, Aprasa, I have a question, right?
Mhm.
If I'm having one particular table, what I need to do? I need to create just one sequence. I don't need the second sequence, right? Agreed on,
Correct.
right? Let's see the second configuration. Full catalog we have already seen, right?
Mhm.
Create condition table we have already seen. How can we pull the account field over here and create a table? Third thing is what? Create access sequence. Let's see that in the system itself. Here you can see create access sequence. If you go
Yeah.
inside this, what do? We take OD01 as the sequence, and in that we create what is my table 1, what is my table 2, what is my table 3, what is my table 4, and so on. We can keep on. If
Yeah.
I'm having only one table, I'll put one table as some. Right? Now, this table will have all the fields that we have already defined.
Correct.
Right? So if I click on it and click on the fields name, I can see all the fields. See, action, document type, goods status, object change, and where.
Yeah.
Till now we are all good, right?
Yeah.
Let me come out of that. So now, what is the next thing I'm saying that? Okay, I'm saying I have now saved, sorry, I am now saved all my, I've already picked my required fields. I've saved that under a condition table, right? That is now having an access sequence. But now what I'm going to define is called a condition type. What is the condition type? When I'm going to trigger it? At what point I want to trigger it? Or when this condition type will be met? So basically, before the condition type is met, I want to create the condition type. I told you over here. If you come back, condition type.
Yeah.
You need to create a condition type. If you do not create a condition type, never ever this condition will be met. Right? So what I do,
Yeah.
I create something called condition. Okay.
Yeah.
So here if you come back, go to create condition type, ODWTP. So here you can see create warehouse task. Get my point? So
Yeah.
this is my, if I expand this is my condition type. So what it is saying, this is the condition type and what it is triggering OD01. So as soon as OD01 is triggered, what it will do, it will call these two tables, right, in this correct sequence. And once these two tables are called, what they will do, they will bring along with them the fields they are mapped,
Correct.
right? Now my condition type is what? ODW. Clear? Now this is mapped to what? Mapped to, tell me boss, OD01, access sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting the, are you following the mapping or not? Just
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
get the mapping, okay?
Yeah.
ODW. Now I have already created a condition type. Now this condition type needs to be fulfilled, yes or no? We agree or not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? When it will be fulfilled, okay? So that is why I'm saying what, when my condition will be determined, how it will be determined. For that, I have created a determination called what? ODWTP. If you go inside this, I'm saying that okay, my condition is determined over here, ODW.
Yeah.
Okay, what I've created? Determination. I'm saying my condition type will be determined whenever my determination ODWTP is triggered. Whenever ODWTP is triggered, what it will do? It will call the condition type ODW. Are you
Yeah.
getting my point? Okay. Now, once the determination is done, okay, whenever the determination is done, what it is going to do? It is now assigned to the determination procedure. What is the determination procedure? I am saying that which action, चलो सब हो गया, condition type met हो गया, सब कुछ हो गया. कौन सा, what action I want to do, whether I want to create a warehouse task, I want to print an HE label, I want to post the GR, I need to perform onboarding, what I want to do. Getting my point? What action? I'll write what action I want to do. Are you getting my point? So if
Yeah.
this is getting determined, this condition will get triggered. That is all fine. But it's a culture. What? Why we are doing it? What action I want to do? So that action is nothing but what I want to create. What I want to create a warehouse task. Do I want to print it? No, I don't want to print it. I want to do what? I want to create a warehouse task. For which delivery I want to create a warehouse task? For my inbound delivery. इधर आ जाओ. ये conflict आ जाओ. पूरा ऊपर चलो. What is the document type? INB and PDI. Right? I want to create a put away warehouse task for this INB and PDI. Correct? Listen.
Correct.
Listen. Right? So you can see the same thing. INB and PDI are mentioned over there. For that, I have created an action definition saying that what? PDI is my inbound delivery. I want to create a warehouse task. How can I create it? When my determination ODWTP is triggered. And whenever my ODWTP is triggered, what it is going to do? It is going to call my condition type, and this condition type is mapped to access sequence. In the access sequence, when all the fields in the tables are fulfilled, then only my action what? Create, put away, warehouse task for what? Document type INB and PDI will be ticked. Getting my point? So INB and
Yeah.
PDI for the document type and item type, only the warehouse task will be created when the determination is fulfilled. Okay? When the determination is fulfilled. Clear? Understood?
Yeah.
But till now, tell me, have I ever mentioned anywhere my warehouse? No.
No.
This is all a generic configuration I have done that it can work for warehouses over here, warehouse 1 and 2,
Yeah.
or it can work
Yeah.
for one warehouse, right? So where do I control it? I control it on a master data label.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I do, I control that on a master data label. Just let me know if I'm following or not, right? So now what
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do,
Kind of condition records we are talking now.
yeah, master data label where I will put what? Condition records.
Yeah.
Now when I say conditions records, so now tell me, if I add a condition record, it's a master data, right? Just a cut over it. I hope you understand that, right? It's a cut over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I can say manual activity, right?
Yeah.
You can say a manual activity. So whenever I'm doing a maintenance in my system, right?
Mhm.
So I need to stop this process. You agree or not? I don't want automation, right? I need to stop it.
Yeah.
So what I'll do? I'll delete this condition record,
Correct.
right? So that is called
Yeah.
what? A maintenance group.
Yeah. Or if ever need any change in the existing ways of working, then also we can update that.
Yes, perfect. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this maintenance group, I need to create a maintenance group which can help me to allow to control that. Whatever the condition type is, I want to control that. So what I've done, I have created a maintenance group. What it is? DLGW. So under this maintenance group, you can see what I have. I have the condition table, I have the condition type, and all these things are already set here. Clear? So
Yeah,
this is my maintenance group. What is my maintenance group? DLGW.
yeah.
DLGW. See, nomenclature wise, Prasad, I don't need to tell you, right? You are a senior people. You
Mm.
know, you can maintain anything, right? Nomenclature. Don't think like you have to
Yeah,
maintain this. Right? Okay. Now let's go to the master data step. How can you go to the master data? There are two ways. Either you can follow this path, SAP EXS
mm.
path, or you can simply run this code as well. Okay.
Yeah,
I follow preferring the path so that it is easier for you to remember as well. Right. Let me go to a new screen over here. Okay. I'll go to logistics, SAP, SAWM, EWM, right? EWM.
mm.
Under that, you can see delivery processing over here. And you can see actions over here. Right? If I expand it, you can say maintain conditions record for PPF schedule. So I am doing what? I'm maintaining the conditions record. So what is my group maintenance group? C, DLVW,
Mm.
right? Inside this maintenance group, what I need to do? I need to maintain a conditions record. But before I maintain a condition record, I want to see if there are any conditions record for my warehouse or not. How do I check it?
Correct.
I'll go for my warehouse number, click on this drop down, select record, and put my warehouse number. Okay, my warehouse number, and I'll say for today's date, that is 8th of August 2026. Is there any conditions
Mm.
record existing? It says no conditions record. So
Yeah,
fine, perfect, no problem. There is no conditions record. Let me create one. So what I'll do to
yeah,
create one, I'll click on this drop down. As soon as I click on this drop down, it is asking me, boss, we will help you to create a condition record, but what is the condition type for it? Let's see what is the condition type we created over here. Our condition
mm.
type is what? ODWT. You can see that over here. See ODWT, right? Get my point, professor.
Yeah,
As soon as I click on it, now it is showing me some fields, right? So Prasad,
yeah.
how are these fields coming up? You can see
That is
one, two.
from our catalogs
So these fields, all these fields are coming from where? From this table.
condition table. Yeah,
Yeah, you remember we put
yeah,
all these fields under this table, 5 fields. I told you
yeah,
which 5 fields you can come and save it, right? The same
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
you can see it over here. What I have an action means what needs to be done if this
yeah,
condition type is fulfilled. What is the document type? Now tell me what will be the document type. It will be INB and PDI, correct?
yeah,
So here you can see INB and PDI, right? Then
yeah.
what is the goods movement status? Tell me. It will be from not started to saved or finished, right? Not started to
Mm.
completed this one,
Yeah,
right? Then what the object? What will be the object? Whether it is created, changed, deleted, what it will be?
yeah. It's goods movement regarding, right?
Yes, yes, goods movement.
Yeah,
What it will be?
po- posted
Posted is what? Changed? Posted.
change.
I
Yeah,
told you that posting change means changing the stock type, right?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
posting GR means changing the object, right? And okay,
yeah,
I know my warehouse number. That is clear.
yeah,
Okay, my warehouse number I have already cleaned. Now, what I want to do, I want to see what is the action I want to do. See, I have put everything. Once the
yeah.
condition is met, action will be happening. What action I want? Tell me.
Mm.
I want to print it or create a warehouse task. What I want? Tell me.
Create WT.
Create a put away warehouse task. Not WT.
Puta.
I want to create a put away warehouse task as well. So
Uh,
if I go to PDI01, just a minute over here, PDI Kangal. Yeah, PDI01 underscore create warehouse task for put away. Is this not what I want?
yeah, create Windows task for whatever. What is the difference between the other two? What we can say?
This one?
How?
Yeah. So now it depends on what is the inbound delivery document type and item type and what is the action profile for that, right? Now,
Mm.
can you see this is, if you understand this is the difference between both of them, this is 01, this is 02, right? Simple. That is the only
Yeah.
difference, right? Now, let's go back to the config over here.
Mm.
Here, can you see what is the action profile?
That's the one.
Get my point? So,
Yeah.
whenever you create any action definition, that needs to follow this action profile. Otherwise, it will not create for this document.
Mm.
Get my point? So whenever
Correct.
I'm creating any action definition, that should follow the XM profile. So slash SCWM slash PDI underscore 01 is the XM profile. This is
Yeah.
what the XM definition. Okay, clear? Understood?
Yeah.
XM definition is a subset of XM profile. That is the easiest thing I can say. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Now, if I try to save it, it will not take it here because we all know this is what? This is a manual config, right? This is a cutover activity. Clear?
Yeah.
Understood? Any doubts?
Mm.
Now, let's
Just
talk
one
about.
thing. See, just one
Please, please.
thing.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Is there any possibility that we can create these condition records without warehouse number, so it can be at client level?
Conditions record without warehouse number. See,
Huh.
I'll tell you. You cannot create them. Just a second. Just give me a fraction of a second. Let me quickly again open this here. Okay.
Hmm.
If you want to do that on a client level, see, there are two different controls. First is on the condition record
Hmm.
level, right? There is
Hmm.
one more area where you can control that. If you go to cross process settings, delivery warehouse request, and I'll go to actions again. Here, if you see assign determination procedure, okay. Now,
Hmm.
if I quickly go to our action definition, PDI 01 warehouse, okay. This is the one. Do you see there is a warehouse column over here as well?
Yeah.
If you put this warehouse label, so what will happen? This particular action, the whole warehouse task creation will only happen for your warehouse number, right? If you leave it
Hmm.
there, it is happening on the client level.
Okay.
Get that point? Okay. It is happening on the, like it is available. So when I say on the client level, that means it's not like हर कोई warehouse के लिए सबके लिए automatic हो जाएगा. No. You
Huh.
have to
Huh.
maintain the condition record. If somebody wants to do it, they need to manually maintain the conditions record. But all these configurations, whatever I did, it is available for all the warehouses that are having the vendor inbound delivery available for the warehouse.
Correct. Why I'm asking this because what happened? कहीं basin there is only one warehouse, okay,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
they don't have another warehouse and they want to reduce the master data maintenance activity.
Mhm.
So in that
Yeah.
case,
In that case, simply you can come over here. See, again,
hmm,
if it is having only one error, still you have to maintain the condition record. It's not like if you maintain it over here, you don't need to maintain the conditions. Well, no, it's not like that, right? You have to maintain the condition record, but if you put it over here, the warehouse, this particular config, whatever you have done that since last 1 hour, it will work for only and only one warehouse. If you leave it blank, you just need to enter new conditions record for new warehouses, and it is readily available for everybody to work on their respective warehouse.
correct. Kind of process standardization if they wanted to
Yeah.
follow throughout.
You cannot skip the cutover activity. That's for sure.
Mhm.
Okay. You can
Correct.
say
So
that
activity will be there, but only this one field maybe we can skip.
yes, yes, absolutely. We can skip it.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Now we have already done our configuration, right? Time to test it. Let's see whether it is working fine or not. I'll quickly take a purchase order reference to see. Okay. I'll take 50 quantities. Let me take 50 over here. So 50 into today's date. I have my confirmation control keys there. I think all set. Let me save it. Purchase order creator.
Yeah.
UL 31 and okay. So here, what I'm going to do. Okay. This is all good. Huh? This is all good. Let me save it. Amount delivery cost created and distributed. Right. I'll make
Yeah.
a note of it. I'll let me go to PRD. Okay. So I have my inbound delivery. Okay. And I have my HA as well. Okay. Inbound delivery HA has already been created. Right. So now what I do? Tell me. I need to perform unloading, then goods reset, and then put away. Correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Right? So I'll click on unload. So you can see unloading has been completed. But before I post on goods reset, I need to go to the PPF action. Here you can see PPF action. Right? So
Yeah.
whenever I did an unloading, what happened? My S4HANA is sending, my EWM is sending a message to the S4HANA to update what? Like the unloading status.
Yeah.
ERP को जा रहा है अपडेट होगा ना ERP डिलीवरी पे अपडेट भी होता है ना
Ha ha ha. Correct.
right? Right. Now what happened? The next step is goods receipt. I know as soon as I click on goods receipt, what will happen? This goods receipt status will be completed. Correct?
Correct.
And there will be one more PPF action that will go to where? To my S4HANA to update the goods status over there,
Correct.
right? And what will be the third thing? My PPF action, another action profile will be triggered to create a put ऑटोमेट किया ना हम लोग क्या
हाँ
क्या
हाँ करेक्ट
जब भी हम
करेक्ट।
लोग इसको चेंज करेंगे जब भी हम लोग जीआर स्टेटस को चेंज करेंगे ना ऑटोमेटिकली दिस वेयर स्टेटस will be created. So I will see another PPF action over it. So two PPF action will be triggered as soon as I click on the GR posting. One to update the ERP status. The second to create a put aware stuff. Agreed? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me click on GR. See, two this one. One is message PRD send, message sent to ERP side. Second is what? PDA0 and warehouse task create. This is the action definition that we maintained just now in the control record. Getting the point?
Yes.
What it is
Yeah.
required for? To create a put aware warehouse task, right? And
Correct.
if I go to the drop down over here, click on display warehouse task, I can see I have a put away warehouse task over here. See, put away warehouse task that is open, and you can see the GR zone and the destination bin over here as well.
Yeah.
Clear? Understood? Now what I'll do? I will try
So,
to
see, one thing, if
yeah,
any condition is not satisfied for WT creation, then in that case, will it fail? Like the
fail.
bit determination and all,
It will fail. It will fail.
it will fail, no?
Yes, it will fail. Now, even if forget about that one, if you have deleted it, okay, let me go to SAP EWM delivery processing. Let's go and delete this condition record. Okay. Already we saw that it is working fine, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I go for my warehouse and I delete, suppose I'll delete this condition record.
Hmm.
Let me say. Now, if I go back, okay, so I have a warehouse task, right? What
Yeah.
I'll do, simply I'll go to warehouse task and let me go to the warehouse order and I'll cancel it. Okay,
Yeah.
cancel plus it. So this is cancel, this is cancel. There is no warehouse task right now. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'll go back on my delivery as well and I'll do what? I'll reverse the GR.
Yeah.
So now tell me, if I reverse the GR, again a PPF action will go into my ERP site to update that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Let
Correct.
me do that. So here you can see goods receipt not started and it is
Hmm.
going to my ERP site. All good, this is all good. Now if I post a GR again over here, see what happens? There is only one message going to the ERP site. There is no WT01 here. Getting my point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you understand. We are just asking like, can I reduce the state not to maintain the master data, right? No, it's not like that. If you reduce that, if you say that okay, I don't want to maintain a couple of activities, I don't want to do that, it is not going to. So
No,
that
no,
is why.
my question was like that. We will
Got it on the
maintain.
client level. Yeah, I got it on the
Ah,
client
ah,
level. So again, you cannot. You have to maintain that on the warehouse level.
ah.
Get it, point?
Okay.
If you want to do it for all your, so why you're asking this? Do you want to do it for all your warehouses, or you have only one warehouse? That is why you're asking.
See what happened. Now? There are, let's say, maybe four warehouses, okay, and we have to standardize some process like this WT creation. It's a standard step where we need automation. Maybe there are other steps where we are using this process, but that maybe I can put at warehouse level like printing or something or email sending something. But the WT is very common for
Correct.
all the warehouses. So as a
Correct.
part of standardization, then maybe we can just go with the blank warehouse number. So it will be standardized for all warehouses, and other processes we can take at each warehouse level. It's like that.
Okay. 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 But no, you have to create the conditions of code. If you do all the config event, then
No,
there is
condition
no.
record I will create. Condition record I will create, but the condition table what we have created now. So there
Yeah.
in condition table I will skip the warehouse number. I will take the document type. I will take the WPT or other steps. But warehouse number I can skip. That was my question.
Okay. 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 Got it. Got it. Okay. Sorry. I thought you were talking about. Okay. So here you want to skip the
Ah,
condition warehouse
ah,
number. Yeah. Yeah. You can do that as well, man.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
absolutely allowed. I thought
Mm,
like you are having everything, but you don't want to just update the condition record. Okay, you are fine
ah,
with updating the condition record, but in the
ah,
condition record you don't require the field. Tell me like that.
ah,
Okay, you don't
correct.
require
Ah,
the field of the warehouse number. Yes, then you can do it. But again, there will be a problem. What for all the warehouses it will be okay.
yes, yes, correct,
You cannot
correct.
stop it. Huh? You cannot stop it. Right?
Ah,
For an
ah,
example, I'll give you a simple example. Okay. So you have four
ah,
warehouses, or maybe for an example, two warehouses. चलो दो ही ले लो. ठीक है.
mm,
There is some maintenance on the warehouse number two. I'm talking about the
mm,
physical maintenance on the warehouse level, right? So that
mm,
point of time, what do you want? You want all this automation to stop, right? Like
mm,
you are checking something on the put warehouse task, you want to do a manual activity. So when you
mm,
stop it, it also stops the warehouse number one.
correct.
Now, the warehouse resources, they have a usual habit of what? Posting the GR and then waiting for the warehouse task to be created. Automatically, it will trigger the resource management, key management assigned to a resource, and the resource will do a task, right? The habit of doing this. So what will happen one sudden day, fine on the production workflow space, there is no warehouse task getting created, right? So that will create a sense of panic, and again, it will P1 ticket will be created, and things will escalate as well. And you need to also understand that perspective of it. If you're having multiple warehouses, think about the chaos that will happen in the whole like all the warehouses. Okay, so if you are sure that okay, I want to do it for all my warehouses, I want to deactivate for all my warehouses, I'm fine with that. You can remove the field for warehouse number. Absolutely, you can remove it. That's not a problem. Okay, understood.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
I'm just trying to understand, make you understand about the flip side. The positive side is every warehouse will work. But again,
Yeah.
if you want to stop it for 1 hour, everything will stop. Like Abhimanyu,
Correct,
like I
correct.
just deleted the condition record. Everything for every warehouse it will stop now.
Correct.
Clear? Got it?
Yeah, yeah.
Any doubts? Any questions? Further questions? Yeah.